Some movies make you jump, but some, they make you sit still and reflect because what you just watched wasn't entertainment. It was a warning in disguise. Ryan Coogler's Sinners isn't your average horror flick. It's a layered sermon set in a juke joint where the real monsters didn't just have fangs. And the wildest part is that the vampires weren't even the most dangerous ones in the film. That honor goes to the lies that America tells and the culture that it steals. So I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. This movie shook me to my core. See, Sinners is set in 1932 Mississippi, and it doesn't hold back. The cinematography, the tension, the soul in the music, it's haunting in the most beautiful way. Coogler didn't just direct a film, he directed a love letter and a horror story all in one. You've got twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, returning to Clarksville after World War I. They're veterans, they're survivors. And not just that, they had history working with Al Capone in Chicago. Real gangsters, real experience. And now they're back home trying to build something for their community. But just like in real life, building something black and beautiful always attracts evil. And for those of you who haven't seen the film yet, right here you might want to shut it off. This is your spoiler warning because we're about to go in deep and it's time to swim. Go check it out and come back and watch this breakdown. Alright, so let's start with the land deal. The twins buy land from a smooth talking white man, and when they ask him if he's part of the clan, he laughs it off. Later in the film we find out this whole thing was a setup. They planned to unalive everyone once the juke joint was full. Take the land and keep the money. And that final scene, I think it was Stack, goes Rambo style, taking out clan members one by one. And the last surviving one, you know, the man who sold them the land, he got exactly what was coming to him. That moment wasn't just violent, it was generational rage in motion. Now let's talk about Smoke and Stack, the twin brothers. The red and the blue. The bond between them was deep, y'all. Survivors of war, hustlers under Capone, and now builders of culture. But the devil don't like unity. And just like the Panthers in the 70s, just like our real life heroes, we see division come from the inside. One brother gets turned, not just into a vampire, but something unrecognizable. And that felt like a metaphor for how the system turns our own people against us. We've seen it before. Gangs, government infiltration, the war on drugs, mass incarceration, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black excellence gets too powerful and something shows up to divide it. Coogler knew exactly what he was doing. And even in the chaos between the brothers, you could still feel the love between them. That unspeakable bond, that pain as unity starts to slip away. And let's talk about Sammy, the young musician in the film. His father, a preacher, wants him to take the holy path. And Sammy just wants to play. He wants to do him. And we see that opening scene where he walks into his father's church with the 3 scars on his face, and we don't know if he's already been bit by a vampire or what's going on. But we find out he's scarred, but not broken. His father calls blues the devil's music. And Sammy, later on in the film, says one of the rawest lines in the entire thing when he talks to his cousin and says, look, if it's gonna kill me, then let it kill me now. That's not rebellion, that's spiritual survival. That's a young black man saying, I'd rather die with my gift than live in your box that you put before me. And when we see him in a post-credit scene years later as a successful musician, that was a resurrection. He didn't just survive, he turned his trauma into testimony. And let's not skip the timeline montage in the juke joint. This is my favorite scene in the entire film. Blues turning into the electric guitar, then breakdancing, DJing, West Coast party moves, twerking, all of it. It was our cultural time machine. It reminded me of a scene from the Flash movie when they showed all of the Superman from different time periods. But this time, it was all of us. Our legacy, our movement, our rhythm. And then you see the roof on fire. And you wonder, like, is this a celebration or a warning? And I think it was both. A spiritual alarm, so to speak. Like the ancestors whispering, you're free in this moment, but danger is coming. Or maybe the joy was too powerful for the building to contain. Maybe that fire was our energy setting the room ablaze. Either way, y'all, it hit real different. And now we got to talk about Remick, the vampire. I've been seeing this thing going around online with folks saying that he was not racist because he was Irish and he understood oppression. But let's clear this up real quick. He was and is racist, just not in a way that we're trained to see. Remick doesn't hate black people. He admires us, wants our soul, our rhythm, our magic. But admiration without respect is simply fetishization. He doesn't love us. He wants to use us. He sees Sammy simply as a tool, as a vessel. You got something I can't recreate, so let me take it. That's exploitation, colonizer behavior, and poetic form. He's the music industry, the fashion industry, plantation with a stage and a spotlight. And yes, his Irish history plays a big part. See, he comes from a people who were once oppressed, but instead of breaking the cycle, he actually joins it. He simply becomes the thing that hurt him. And that's the real danger. Oppressed folks who assimilate into power without healing. They end up becoming the new colonizers in recycled costume. Remick is the smiling white savior. The I get you vampire vampire that still drinks your blood, still replaces your voice with his own. And the wildest part, when the black folks get turned into vampires, they stop singing the blues and they start singing his music. That was powerful, y'all. And that's not just horror, that's history. That's cultural theft. That's appropriation dressed up as inclusion. See, Sinners is more than a horror story. It's a history lesson, a metaphor. It's a mirror. It shows us what happens when joy is too strong for a system to contain, how power turns on itself, and how even vampires smile before they bite. See, Ryan Coogler didn't just direct this. He downloaded something ancestral, something we've always known but didn't have the language to name it. And now we have Sinners. So what did that fire mean to you? What did you see in Remy's character? And would you choose the pulpit or the guitar? Look, I done talked y'all ear off enough. I gotta go see it again because one ain't enough for me. I don't know about you, but I gotta see it at least 2 or 3 times. But anyway, this is Frazier's Lounge, and this ain't just a review, it's a reflection. Peace.